Hello guys, I'm going to show you how to use useState in React.js. Well, as you can see, this is my app.js and it is empty. At the first step, let me create a layout inside these fragments. For example, an h2 tag. Let's put a very simple text, for example, hello, and then run the app. As you can see, it's right here, but what I want is to see this title asynchronously. For the first step, I need to create a state for the title. Let's call it title and set title, and it is equal to a use state. Okay, and the initial value is an empty string. And let me bind the title inside this h2 tag. Great. But in order to make it asynchronous, we need a function. Let's create an async function. Let's call it, for example, wait for it, and it's going to actually return a promise after a couple of milliseconds, and the time is going to be passed into this function. So let me give it an argument like milliseconds, and then the body of the function would be an await new promise, which is going to create a new promise and then return it. And this promise is going to have a resolve, which is run after this amount of time, which is implemented by this function set timeout. Resolve milliseconds is the second argument of the set timeout. So what this function does is to return a promise after a couple of milliseconds, and we need another async function to apply this one inside. So let's create it. This one should be, for example, my title or something. This is going to actually set the title after it has waited for it. So we need to call waiter inside this one with await, since it is going to be asynchronous. Let me give it some argument, for example, 4 seconds or 4,000 milliseconds. And here we need to set the title to the value we need. So apply set title. And here would be, for example, hello, simply. Great. And we need to run this function right when the page is loaded. So we need to apply some function called useEffect. useEffect. And inside useEffect, we're going to have an error function. Inside this error function, we're going to call this myTitle function. So let's call it myTitle. Okay. And make sure the dependency array is empty. Alright. So we applied useEffect to invoke myTitle. myTitle is a function that calls the waiter, which waits for 4 milliseconds because we passed 4 to it, and then sets the title to this value. And let me save the changes and take a look. Alright, and yeah, as you can see, the title shows up after 4 milliseconds. You can put whatever you want inside myTitle function and customize it in your own way. And that's all. Thanks for watching.